What's going on, Jerome's? So I know we did a 53-man rooster projection at the start of training camp like a week ago, but there's a lot of stuff and things that have happened. Fortunately, a couple of injuries, and some guys have risen, some guys have fallen, and first pad of practice in the books. Some guys making an impression, some guys haven't. So here's an updated 53-man rooster projection. Now, with the 16-man practice squad, which we do because we're not cowards, so 53 plus 16 equals 69. Nice. So only 21 dudes on the 90-man rooster aren't in the sphere. It's kind of hard to do. Anyways, but so we got three columns. We got the 53-man rooster in purple. We got the practice squad in, I don't know what color is that, periwinkle? Sure. And the red, cut, waved, or otherwise noted. So actually, I have to keep track of changes that we made. But a professional would do that. I'm not a professional. All right, so quarterbacks-wise, so initially we had Mullins, Darnold, and McCarthy all making the 53, but I mean, J.J. McCarthy's looked good. I think that he's way ahead of schedule. I think that they, even if he doesn't win the QB1 job, I think that they will be confident in him as QB2, so that could make Nick Mullins expendable because backup quarterbacks that can put up numbers, they're valuable, and Mullins, even though he does have the most experience in this offense, and Sam Darnold probably won't be on this team next year, I mean, does he have some trade value? I think the Vikings potentially could look to recoup their 6th-round pick, or it'd be like a 6th or 7th round pick swap, something like that. Basically, that's how Nick Mullins got here 2 years ago because he wasn't part of the Raiders' plans with the new regime, and the Vikings picked him up for a draft pick, late rounder. So that could be some value there, and especially since the Vikings are bereft of draft picks, we'll see. But if they can't get anything, I think they would try to get him down onto the practice squad because you can protect a number of players on the practice squad, but you have to get them through initial 53-man rooster waivers first. So maybe they'll try it that way. I think that they still like Jaron Hall. I think that O'Connell potentially sees him as the long-term backup to J.J. McCarthy, even though, Jaron Hall is almost as old as Sam Darnold. It's kind of funny, man. But it could be that sort of spot. Running backs wise, so Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, King Kene on the 53, CJ Ham as the fullback. Myles Gaskin basically has been the third running back so far, but with King Kene's kick return prowess, which I think is going to go boom with the new rules, obviously keeping him on the 53. Also McBride in the sphere with the veteran Gaskins as well. Gaskin. Carroll. Receivers. So we talked about how there's a big seven and sort of everyone else, and they stay in the sphere. So Jefferson, Addison, I think they're pretty confident in Jalen Naylor as wide receiver 3, knocking on all the wood if he stays healthy. Powell. So they obviously like Brandon Powell a lot. He's a great punt returner, although Addison's been getting some punt return work too, which is kind of weird. But Powell, I think, is more of a gadgety, change of pace type a receiver, for lack of a better term. I don't think that they see him as a true blue wide receiver 3, and they're hoping that Naylor or Sherfield or someone else would step up. Trent Sherfield's looked pretty good. Working primarily with the 2s, free agent from Buffalo. Tristan Jackson, who's been in the fold with the Vikings for the last couple of years, made some plays last year, had a touchdown against the Falcons. He stays on the practice squad as well. Thayer Thomas. So Thayer's basically been working with the second-team offense in the slot, and also he does have some great punt return prowess as well. Cut Wade, Lucky Jackson, Malik Knowles, Ty James, Deshaun Jones. Now, Deshaun Jones may work his way into the practice squad pending, but obviously there's still some plenty of time left. But he's got to start getting some traction. They did give him the large UDFA signing bonus. The rest of the offense, so 3 tight ends on the roster, Hawkinson on the PUP list to start, but Oliver, Munt, and Tanyan. Nick Muse on the practice squad. Now, I actually think it could be kind of close. They seem to like Trey Knox quite a bit this year's UDFA. So Muse, Knox, maybe they're competing for one practice squad spot. It's possible. And N'Keal Harry, I know that they shifted him from receiver to tight end. Maybe something will happen there. Who knows? But, I think that they're confident with Oliver, Munt, and Tanyan sort of in aggregate replacing Hawkinson's receiving production until Hawkinson gets back. So offensive line-wise, I don't know why we highlighted Juergens here. Oh, because I moved him. But offensive line, so keeping 10 on the roster. Now, that's not typical. Usually you do keep 9, but you're going to keep basically 12 offensive linemen in the sphere, whether it's 9-3, 10-2 in this situation. But that's what we did. Darisaw, Brandel, Bradbury, Ed Ingram, Brian O'Neill. TBD what happens at the guard competition. I think right now they would like to see Brandel and Ingram hold things down and have Reisner in reserve. We'll see. Walter Rouse has been Darisaw's backup left tackle, which is great. Quisenberry, the swing tackle's there. Feeney, swing interior backup. Reisner, obviously, as well as. I think that Michael Juergens will show enough that they don't want to risk trying to get him out of the practice squad. I think that there's a future with him there on the practice squad. Tyrese Robinson, as well as Henry Burb, who has been practicing with the second team left guards. And then cut waived Spencer Rowland, Doug Nestor, and JEROME Flax, all 343 pounds of him. Then defensively, so 6 D linemen, 2 on the practice squad. Tillery, Phillips, Bullard. Those are going to be your starters. And then LDR, Levi Drake Rodriguez, senior sack. Jaquelin Roy, as well as Jumpin' James Lynch. Now, Jaquelin has had a nice couple of days of practice, look good with the pads on as well. I think that if the Vikings want to generate some facsimile of an interior pass rush, I think that Jaquelin may have to lead the way. 2 on the practice squad. So Jonah Williams, a veteran, had crossover with the Rams contingent over there back in the day. Taki Taimani, the UDFA nose tackle out of Oregon/Washington, does stay in the fold. Cut waived Manoa, Jalen Redmond, UFL superstar, as well as free agent signing Jihad Ward. Yeah, you could make a case that Ward maybe makes the practice squad, finds himself a spot somewhere. His versatility is pretty nice. Edge rushers, so keeping 5 on the rooster. Grenard, Van Ginkel, Diamond Dallas Turner, Andre Carr II, and Gabriel Murphy. Now, I actually think that Gabe Murphy, the UDFA from UCLA, is a lock on the 53. You can almost put him above Carter II. Practice squad, so Bo Richter, as well as Patrick Jones II. Now, Jones is interesting because fourth year of his rookie deal, the base salary does balloon a little bit, so the Vikings could actually save $2+ million in space by moving on or potentially trading him. And for Jones, I mean, Jones may look to seek a trade as well, because with Grenard, Van Ginkel, Turner in front of them, and maybe even Gabe Murphy, like, there may not be a ton of reps for him in a contract year, and he may look to go somewhere else. So I think that he could be potential trade bait for some other teams out there. Off balls, Pace, Cashman, Grugier, Hill, and toss-up between Asamoah and Abe Beauplan. I know that the coaches really do like Beauplan. He's a great special teamer, great understudy as well. Asamoah has all the physical tools. Are they moving him to the sort of the Metellus linebacker safety role? Who knows? But I think he has enough talent to stay on the practice squad, although I think that there's enough skill there and enough mama, I can change him with other teams that he could be picked up. Jabril Cox, I like Jabril a lot. NDSU, LSU, just hasn't worked out in the NFL, but he is a solid special teamer. I think that he could add a little something there. All right, we're going to try this mother again, of course, through the magic of editing. So I've actually screwed up the cornerback graphic twice, right? Because first, I had Blackman still on the 53. Fortunately, I heal up fast. Also, I forgot about Duke Shelley, which is unforgivable. All right, so this has truly become my Vietnam, but we're doing it again. So cornerbacks wise, Shaq Griffin, knocking on all the wood. Please stay healthy. Press man, corner from way back like chiroprac. Hopefully he can recapture some of his Seattle magic and hold down that left cornerback spot. Byron Murphy Jr., I'm not sure what the plan is, because Flores has talked about in the offseason he wants Murph more in the slot. I think that's his natural position, but he may have to play on the outside more just because he's that talented, right? Just keeping him on the field. And Bobby McCain coming in and playing slot slash safety to start, that could precipitate that. Also, Caleb Evans, Flores talked about how they're going to have to rely on Evans. He's put in a lot of work this offseason to get up to speed, and he's got the talent there, and he was on the field last year to be benched 17,000 times. And then you have Duke Shelley. That's right. Duke is indeed making the rooster. The only thing likable about Duke, except for Coach K, Tyus Jones. There you go. But yeah, I do think that Duke does bring that swagger mentality on the outside. Despite his size, that he can certainly be an asset for the Vikings. Maybe not in the starting rotation, but a guy who can give you a spot start or some spot snaps here or there. Dwight McGlothern, I think, has a great tool set. I think that he is, even though he's undrafted, I think that he's going to make the rooster. I do like Gabriel Murphy and McGlothern's chances there. Jalen Williams, they like in the slot, despite the addition of Bobby McCain. Jalen in year 2, former UDFA out of Indiana, then not making it. So AJ Green, I think that he could be fringe on the practice squad. He's made some big-time plays during OTAs. Jacoby Francis, new guy, also got Mekhi Blackman, unfortunately on injured reserve for that ACL. And with Booth Jr., I think Booth Jr. and Scene both could be cut or traded. Now, Booth would be a little bit more palatable in terms of dead cap hits if he's cut, but I think that back in my mind, I'm thinking that maybe Lewis Scene, they're trying to work out a trade and they're just holding him out of practice to keep him healthy, and then they could get a deal done. Who knows, man? But for the safeties, Harrison, Beasley, Metellus, Theo Jackson, carry on my Jayward son on the practice squad. But if his role is going to be enhanced, he may have to take up a 53 spot and then go from there. Will Reichard already beat out John Parker Romo. Seth Vernon, I got beaten Ryan Wright. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. Andrew DePaulo, the long snapper, as well as Najee Thompson, special teamer. Hopefully he gets healthy and good to go. But that's it. Take a look at the Vikings 53-man rooster, as well as a practice squad projection after 5 practices, including 1 padded practice. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skull production value.